What's up YouTube? Thanks for tuning in this video. In this video, we're talking about subleasing trailers and RVs. Is it a good idea? Should you do it? Stay tuned, but first, make sure to like this video and subscribe so we get off to a good start. All right guys, so subleasing RVs is kind of a unique concept. I really haven't seen a lot of people do it, and it's a way for you to make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month, whether you have an RV park or you don't. Either way, you can make an extra $1,000 a month doing this concept. So what is subleasing RVs? So essentially, I'll give it a good example. I've done this at my property many times, is I buy a trailer, you know, like a fifth wheel or an RV or whatever, and I buy it usually for like maybe $3,000. And what I do is I put it out on my property, and then it's already ready to go. It's turnkey, as they say. It's got, everything you need to live. And what I do is I then rent that RV out for not only the lot rent, which we charge $550 a month for the lot rent, which we do for anybody that brings an RV in, but we also charge a little extra because we're providing the space for them to live. Now, typically I'll do about 10% of what the purchase price is monthly. That way I can get my return back in a year. So let's say I buy an RV for $3,000. Ideally, I want to charge 10% monthly of that price. So if I bought it for $3,000, ideally if I can get like if I can get $300 a month, that's a pretty good deal for me, right? So let's say I buy a 30-foot trailer for $3,000. I put it out of my RV or out of my RV park, and I charge $550 a month for the lot rent, which I do for anybody else, and then I charge $300 to stay in the RV. So that's a $750, or I'm sorry, that is a $850 monthly rent for the renter. Now that may sound like a lot, but you got to take into consideration. You are providing the RV spot for them, plus you're providing the RV that's furnished and everything, and it has all the utilities and all that. So if you can compare that in your town or whatever with a typical, one bedroom, one bath studio, it should be a little bit cheaper than that. And in my area, a one bedroom, one bath studio is easily, $800, $900, maybe even $1,000. It's kind of an expensive area where I'm at. So for this RV, they don't have to share, anything. They don't have any roommates or anything. It's their own place. They walk in and it's their own little place. They have kitchen, bathroom, shower, bed, all of that, and it's quite comfy. And it depends. You may not be able to charge $300 a month extra. You might have to bring it down to maybe $200 or maybe even $150 if you need to. But that's my kind of rule of thumb, is about 10% 10% per month of what a year. For how much my RV is. So if it's $3,000, try to charge 10% and get your money back in a year. But this to me is a great concept. I really like it because even if you don't own an RV park, you can still do this and make money. So how would you make money with this? Well, essentially, let's say you had maybe $3,000 or $5,000 saved up. What you can do is you could buy a trailer, and then you could pitch this idea to RV parks in your area. You can say, hey, you could call them or show up in person and say, hey, I have a really nice RV. I am not interested in living in the RV, but I know somebody that is. Maybe you have a family member or somebody, but your job would probably be to find that renter. But you can let them know, hey, I have somebody that's interested in staying in this RV. I was wondering if I can sublease this RV. They're wanting to stay full time. You can charge your typical lot rent, and I can get them in there. And if anything breaks, obviously that's my obligation. And we can get you a full-time renter right away. And you might get a couple RV parks that are not interested, but eventually you will find somebody that is probably interested. And maybe this concept might work better at an affordable RV park, which if you haven't seen my video about the difference between affordable RV parks and tourist RV parks, it's above here if you want to watch that. But that is a way for you to make maybe an extra $200-$300 a month in cash flow, and not even have to own the RV park yourself, and really minimal management. Now, I will say though, one of the bigger negatives of this, which is why we don't do it as much on our property, is because if something does go out in the RV, like the refrigerator or the electricity or whatnot, you have to fix that. And the joy about an RV park is that the management is very simple. It's very minimal. It's not like a residential where you have to really care for everything in the house. If something goes out, that's the customer's problem, not yours. When you own these RVs, you do have to get somebody out there. You do have to get it fixed. So that is a negative. But it's a really easy way to make passive income. And a good example, I'm actually thinking about doing this, is I was thinking about, because I have a really good credit score, of going to the bank and getting like maybe like a $30,000 or $40,000 loan, which would probably be like a $500 a month payment, and buying like 6 trailers, like 5 or 6 trailers, and then renting each one out on my property. And since I'm, half owner, I would get half of the lot rent, which is $550. So half of that would be $225. So I'd get $225 for every one. If I had 6 of them, I get $225 times 6. And then I would charge probably like $200 or $300 for each one to rent them out. So I would easily be making probably like $1,500 to $2,000 from these 6 trailers passively. And I'm not even using my own money. I'm making $2,000 a month. Now the downside is that I would have to manage those, and if something went out, I'd have to fix it. But that's a pretty easy way to get $1,500 a month in passive income, especially if you own the property. That's ideal, right? And I've done this concept with others before. I've let others sublease on my property. It works pretty well. The renters tend to stay for a while, but it does come with a little bit of risk. But it's a unique idea. I haven't really seen a lot of people do this, and I will say they're pretty hot. I mean, if you put, a rented trailer out on Facebook or Craigslist, you get a lot of hits, and it's because the demand is high for affordability. And to find a studio or something like that for around the same price, they're hard to find, really. Like to find a little studio for like $700, $800 a month is kind of hard, at least where I'm at. So if someone comes in to the market with an RV, for rent, it's kind of nice because it's fully furnished and you're by yourself, really. You don't have any roommates, and that is a draw. But that is kind of a little breakdown of the subleasing trailers on your property. Good way for you, if you're the RV park owner, to make a couple $1,000s a month extra in cash flow. And even if you're not the RV park owner, you can still find a way to make a couple $1,000s a month in cash flow. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you got some value out of this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to comment any of your questions down below. I made a video recently about location, whether it's important with RV parks. If you want to watch that, it's just to the side here. If you want to see how I started my RV park from scratch, watch this video on this side here. Make sure to subscribe, like this video like I said, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.